I am going to discuss about the effect of 5V on our society and how this is going to affect the whole world. So, before discussing the main point, let us discuss firstly what is big data and what are advantage, disadvantage, what are application, and how big data is going to improve our data analysis and everything in aspect of any organization. So, one by one we will discuss everything in this particular video. So, basically this video contains all the information about the big data. So, these are some topic which I will discuss within this video. First one is introduction of big data, second is understanding of big data and what are concept and terminology used in big data, and there are two parameter, one is BI and second is KPI. Then we discuss main point, that is big data characteristics, in which we are going to discuss about 5B, and those 5B is going to change our whole world, whatever we are seeing around. And what are different types of data, means structured data, unstructured data, and what are main component of big data, application of big data, advantage of big data, and future of big data. So, these are main point which I will discuss in particular this video. So, let us discuss what is big data. So, the term big data refer to a huge volume of data that can not be stored, processed by any traditional storage or processing unit. So, big data is generated at a very large scale and it is being used by many multinational companies to process and analysis in order to uncover insight and improve their business. When we are talking about what is the importance of data, so just let me give you an example. What happened, whatever we are doing, if you are talking about any in perspective of any university and any business, they analyze the data, how their working scenario is going on. Suppose any company after 3 months just they produce the result, their outcome and data, how much they have gain profit and how much they have losses. So, basically this happen according to data, what are data they have gathered or collected. So, many business, many organizations just analysis their previous data and then make strategy for future. So, when we are talking about big data, so here big data refer to a huge volume of data that cannot be stored or processed by a traditional data. That why big data came into the limelight. So, big data is a field that dedicated to the analysis, processing and storage of large collection of data that frequently originate from different sources. So, there are different sources which are responsible for generating the data. Here data means, suppose we are looking out any Facebook message, means that is also a data. If we are writing anything on WhatsApp, that is also example of data. If we are using internet, means we are using the data, also generating the data. So, big data solution and practices are typically required when traditional data analysis, processing, storage technology and techniques are insufficient to manage those data. So, those techniques are insufficient, that is why big data solution came into the limelight. So, the gigantic explosion of digital technology such as smartphone, Internet of Things, mobile and social networking application, healthcare application, multimedia, cloud computing and autonomous mobile result in massive amount of data which is growing enormously in every minute. More data is being generated every year. So, here if we are talking 6 year back, so in 2017 46,200 posts were uploaded by Instagram every minute. However, it is increased to 1,74,000 posts in 2018. Means here you can see the drastic change, means just in within 1 year, that is changed by 400%. Recently reported more than 2.5 PB. You know, PB means petabyte. So 2 to the 50 power of bytes means you can imagine okay, how much data we are producing are imported and processed every hour only by Walmart Retail Corporation. Here we are talking about only a single organization, that is Walmart Retail Corporation. So you can imagine how many organizations in the whole world and how much data we are processing. This is a simple example. In 2017 there was 46,200 posts uploaded by Instagram every minute. In 2018 that increased by 400 times, 400%. So you can imagine by 2020 it is expected that the size of data will be dramatically go by 50%. So based on a recent study, 2.5 quintillion bytes of data being generated every single day. It is so much data. So according the current amount of data generated by Internet of Things will be considered small as compared to 2030. So this huge amount data drive the society to big data world. It is considered as a new oil, as was stated by IBM Chief Executive Officer. It's provide a lot of valuable knowledge and deeper insight for smarter decision, better product and perfect solution. So businesses can achieve higher performance when utilizing decision obtained by big data analytics. Means many organization, every organization just take a decision and generate some product after analyzing the data. How suppose I am talking about a simple product. If any company have launched suppose a mobile phone Samsung 2050 something like that, and they just analyzing they have sold near about 1 lakh mobile set of that particular particular brand or particular something like that. So definitely they are going to launch next year also, because they have gaining very profit. And how they can take this decision? By studying the previous data. So big data analytics refer to the method and capability that examine, process and detect and reveal the invisible pattern, interesting relation and crucial insight under the analysis and investigation. So the result obtained through the processing of big data can lead to a wide range of insight and benefits, such as operational optimization, actionable intelligence, identification of new markets, accurate prediction, fault and fraud detection, more detailed record, improved decision making, scientific discovery. So now talking about some concept and terminology which are used in big data. So talking about data set, so collection or group of related data is generally referred to as a data set. Each group or data set member share the same set of attributes or properties as the same data set. Some examples data set are tweet stored in a flat file, a collection of image file in a directory, an exact row of from database table stored in a CSV formatted file, historical weather observation data is stored in as XML file. So data set basically collection or group of related data. Now data analysis. So data analysis is a process of examining data to find facts, relationship, pattern, insight and trends. So the overall goal of data analysis to support better decision making. A simple data analysis example is the analysis of a ice cream sales data in order to determine how the number of ice cream cones sold is related to the daily temperature. So in previous I was already discussing by taking example of a mobile set. So here also you can see a simple data analysis how is going to improve your performance, how that is improve to your sale. So here you can take a example of a simple data analysis of the ice cream sales in order to determine how the number of ice cream cones sold in related to daily temperature. The result of such analysis would support decision related to how much ice cream a store should order in relation to weather forecast information. So, carrying out data analysis helps to stabilize pattern and relationship among the data being analyzed. Data analytics. So, data analytics is a broader term for that encompasses data analysis. Data analytics is a discipline that include the management of the complete data life cycle, which encompasses collecting, cleaning, organizing, storing, analysis and governing data. So, the term include the development of analysis method, scientific technique and automated tools. In big data environment, the data analysis had developed method that allow data analysis to occur through the use of highly scalable distributed technology and framework that are capable of analyzing large volume of data from different sources. So, the big data analytics life cycle generally involve identifying, procuring, preparing and analysis large amount of raw unstructured data to extract meaningful information that can serve as an input for identifying pattern, enriching existing enterprise data and performing large scale searches. So, different kind of organization use data analysis tool and technique in different way. So, here you can see some example. So, in business oriented environment, data analysis result can lower operation costs and facilitate strategic decision making. In a scientific domain, data analytics can help identify the cause of phenomena to improve the accuracy of prediction. In service based environment like public sector organization, data analysis can help strength to the focus of delivering high quality service by driving down cost. Data analytics enable data driving decision making with the scientific backing, so that decision can be based on the factual data and not simply on the past experience or institution alone. So, there are 4 general category of analytics that are distinguished by the result they produce. One is descriptive analysis, diagnostic analytic, predictive analytics and prescriptive analysis. So, now let us discuss one by one. So, we can easily understand what is meaning of this type of analytics. So, here diagram, by this diagram also you can see the complexity level and value level. So, here prescriptive analytics have a highest complexity level and descriptive analysis have lowest complexity level. Now, talking about descriptive analytics. So, descriptive analytics are carried out to answer question about event that have already occurred, means that event have been already occurred, and this form of analytics conceptualize data to generate information. So, in this particular analysis, simple question can include what was the sales volume over the past 12 months, means we are talking about past data, and what is the number of support call received as categorized by severity and geographic location, and what is monthly commission earned by each sales agent. So, means we are talking about past data. So, it is estimated that 80% of generated analytics result are descriptive in nature. Value wise, descriptive analytics provide the least worth and required a relative basic skill set. So, the report are generally static in nature and display historical data in presented in form of data grid or chart. So, this are the method, by this using this method you can represent the data. So, here descriptive analytics are carried out to answer question about event that have been already occurred. So, this is main thing, means here we are talking about past event, and just try to ask a question like that, what is sales volume, means what is previous sales. Now, diagnostic analytics means diagnostic analytics aim to determine the cause of a phenomenon that occurred in the past using that focus on the region behind the event. So, in first type of analytics we are talking about whatever event occurred in past. Now, in diagnostic we are just trying to find out the region, what are region of that particular success or failure about that things. So, diagnostic analysis aim to determine the cause of phenomena that occurred in the past using question that focus on the region behind the event. the goal of this type of analytics is to determine what information is related to the phenomena in order to enable answering questions that seek to determine why something has occurred. Such questions include: why were Q2 sales less than Q1 sales? Why have there been more support call originating from the eastern region than from the western region? Why was there an increase in patient readmission rates over the past 3 months? Means we are just trying to find out the reason. So, in this type of analytics, so dynatic analytics provide more value than descriptive analytics, but require a more advanced skill set. Now, talking about predictive analytics. So, predictive, this word refer to the future, means now we are going to discuss about future, how we can plan for the future. So, predictive analytics are carried out in an attempt to determine the outcome of an event that might occur in the future. With predictive analytics, information is enhanced with the meaning to generate knowledge that convey how that information is related. The strength and magnitude of the association from the basis of model that are used to generate future prediction based upon the past event. So, it is important to understand that the model used for the predictive analysis have implicit dependency on the condition under which the past event occurred. If these underlying conditions change, then the models that make prediction need to be updated. So, questions are usually formulated using a what if relation, such as following: what are the chances that a customer will default on a loan if they have missed a monthly payment? What will the patient's survival rate if drug B is administered instead of drug A? So, here we are just trying to find out prediction on the basis of some data. So, predictive analytics try to predict the outcome of an event, and prediction are made based on the pattern, trends and exception found in the historical and current data. So, now talking about prescriptive analytics. So, prescriptive analytics build upon the result of predictive analytics by prescribing action that should be taken, and the focus is not only on which prescribed option is best to follow, but why. So, in other words, prescriptive analytics provide result that can be reasoned about because they embed elements of situational understanding, and this kind of analytic can be used to gain advantage or mitigate a risk. Simple question may be included among 3 drugs, which one provide the best result, when is the best time to trade a particular stock. So, prescriptive analytics provide more value than other type of analytics and correspondingly require the most advanced skill set as well as a specialized software and tool. So, various outcomes are calculated and the best course of action of each outcome is suggested. So, the approach of shift from explaining advising can include the best region. So, this sort of analytics incorporate internal data with external data. Internal data might include current and historical sales data, customer information, product data and business rule. So, now talking about 2 terms, one is business intelligence. So, business intelligence is a software that ingest business data and present in the usual friendly views such as report, dashboard, chart and graph. So, basically BI tools enables business user to access different types of data, historical and current data, third party and in-house, means every type of data you can access and you can visualize using the BI. So, now talking about key performance indicator. So, a key performance indicator is a type of measure that is used to evaluate the performance of an organization against its strategic objective. So, basically it is also a tool to determine and to assess the performance of any organization. So, KPI can be used to track the operational performance of a departments, projects or individual against target or goal. They can provide a management tool for gaining insight and decision making. KPI are linked with the enterprise overall strategic goal and objective. They are often used to identify business performance problems and demonstrate regulatory compliance. Now, talking about most important thing, that is big data characteristics. Here we are talking about 5 main B. So, my main 5 B is you know volume, here huge amount of data, variety, different formats of data, value, extract useful data, velocity, high speed of accumulation of data, and veracity, inconsistent and or certainty in data. So, now discuss one by one. So, here volume refers to the unimaginable amounts of information generated every second from the social media, cell phone, car, credit card, M2M sensor, image, video and whatnot. We are currently using distributed systems, so store data in several locations and brought together by a software firm like called Hadoop. So, Facebook alone can generate about billion messages, 4.5 billion times that the like button is recorded, and over 350 million new posts are uploaded each day. Such a huge amount data can only be handled by big data technology. Volume refers to magnitude of data that is being generated and collected. So, it is increasing at a faster rate from terabytes to petabytes. With increase in storage capacities, what cannot be captured and stored now will be possible in future. So, the classification of big data on the basis of volume is relative with the respect of type of big data and time. In addition, the type of data, which is often referred as variety, define a big data. Two type of data, for instance text and video of same volume, may require different data management technology. So, typical data sources that are responsible for generating high data volume can include online transactions such as a point of sale and banking, scientific and research experiments such as large Hadron Collider Atacama, large millimeter submillimeter array telescope, sensors such as GPS sensor, RFID, smart meter, telemeter, social media such as Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. So, there are various sources who are generating a big volume of data. Now, velocity. So, velocity refers to the rate of generation of data, on which rate data is generating. Traditional data analytics is based on periodic update, daily, weekly or monthly. With the increasing rate of data generation, a big data should be processed and analyzed in real or near real time to make informed decision. So, what happens in traditional data analytics is basically updated weekly, monthly or daily to analyze the data. But when we are talking about increasing rate of data generation, so that can be processed and analyzed in real time environment. So, we can take information. So, the role of time is very critical here. Few domains including retail, telecommunication and finance generate high frequency data, and the data generated through the mobile app, for instance demographic, geography, location and transaction history, can be used in real time to offer personalized service to the customer. So, this will help to retain the customer as well as increase the service level. Suppose you have transacted some money in another account, and if you are going to get information about 2 or 3 days, so this is not going to work at a good level. So, for in these such cases we need real time updation of data, and that is possible only due to big data technology. In big data environment, data can be arrive at fast speed, and enormous data set can accumulate within very short period of time. From an enterprise point of view, the velocity of data translate into amount of time it take for the data to process once enter the enterprise perimeter. Coping with the fast inflow data requires the enterprise to design highly available data processing solution and corresponding data storage capability. So, depending on the data sources, velocity may not always be high. For example, a more MRI scan images are not generated effectively and log entries from a high traffic web servers. So, here you can see how big data is, how velocity or how big data is effective. Now, talking about variety, so here variety refers various type of data. I mean, there are some audio files, some there are video files, some XML files, some CML files. So, all the variety of data and how your big data is going to manage this variety of data, this is also a very tough task. So, variety refers to different types of data that are being generated and captured. The data can be organized using a predefined data model known as a structured data, and the tabular data in relational database and Excel are example to structured data, and they constitute only 50%. So, basically here data variety refers to multiple format and types of data that need to be supported by big data solution. So, here you can see textual data, image file, video, audio file, XML file, JSON data, sensor data. So, these are variety of data types. Now, veracity. So, veracity basically means the degree of reliability that the data has to offer. Since a major part of the data is unstructured and irrelevant, so big data need to find an alternate way to filter them or to translate them out as a data is a crucial in business development. So, veracity quality which can lead to data processing activity to resolve invalid data and remove the revised, because whenever any organization is going to work on a legal data, if your data contains noise, so noise means error means so this is not good. So, noise is data that cannot be converted into information and thus has no value. If any information has noise means we are not going to convert, means the system cannot convert into informatic data. So, firstly noise should be removed from the data and then it can be converted in informatics data. So, data with high signal to noise ratio has more veracity than data with a lower ratio. So, value is the major issue that we need to concentrate on. It is not just the amount of data that we store or process, it is actually the amount of valuable, reliable and trustworthy data that needs to be stored, processed and analyzed to find the insight information. So, apart from the veracity and time, value is also impacted if following life cycle data concerned. So, some other characteristics of big data: validity, how valid and relevant is the data to be used for the intended purposes. Volatility, big data is constantly changing. So, the data you gather from a source a day ago might be different from what you find today. This is called volatility. Visualization, refer to showing your big data generated inside through the visual representation such as a chart and graph. Now, talking about different types of data. So, there are two main different types of data, one is structured data and second is unstructured data and also metadata. So, what happen? The data processed by big data solution can be human generated or machine generated data, although it is ultimately the responsibility of machine to generate analytic the result. Human generated data is result of human interaction with the system such as financial and digital services. So, basically there are two type of the data, one is generated by human and one is generated by machine. So, machine generated data is generated by software program and hardware devices in response to real world event. For example, a log file capture and authorization decision made by a security services and point of sale system generates a transaction against inventory to reflect item purchased by a customer. For a hardware perspective, an example of machine generated data would be information conveyed from the numerous sensor in a cell phone that may be reporting information including position and cell tower signal strength. So, the primary types of data are structured data, unstructured data or semi-structured data. So, structured data refer to data that you can process, store and retrieve in a fixed format, and it is highly organized information that you can readily and seamlessly store and access from a database using simple algorithm. So, this is easiest type of data to manage, you know what data format you are working with advanced. So, in here in this type data everything is a fixed, your format is a fixed, in that particular format you have to store your information. Structured data on a dedicated data model, it is also well structured structure. It is follow a consistent order and it is designed in such way that it can be easily accessed and used by a person or a computer. Structured data is usually stored in a well defined column and also database. So example, you can see our database management system is a example of structured data. Now talking about unstructured data. So data with unknown structure is termed as unstructured data. Its size is substantially bigger than structured data and it is heterogeneous in nature. A great example of unstructured data include the result you get when you perform a Google search. You get web page, video, image, text and other data format for a varying size. So basically this is example of unstructured data. So unstructured data is a completely a different type of which neither has a structure nor obeys to follow the formal structure rule of data model. It does not even have a constant format and it is found to be varying all the time, but rarely it is may have information related to data and time, as like example audio file, images. Now talking about semi-structured data, as name suggests, semi-structured data contains a combination of structured data and unstructured data. It is data has not been classified in a specific database but contains a viral tags that separate individual elements within the same. For example, a table definition in relation database have a semi-structured data. Semi-structured data can be considered as another form of structured data. It inherits a few properties of structured data, but the major part of this kind data fails to have a definitive structure and also it does not obey the format instruction such as. Okay, so here means semi-structured data means as we name suggests contains a combination of structure and unstructured data. Now metadata. So metadata provide information about a data set's characteristics and structure. This type of data is mostly machine generated and can appended to the data. So now talking about main component of big data. So first one is ingestion. Ingestion refers to the process of gathering and preparing the data. Okay, storage means once you have gathered and necessary data, you need to store it. So here you will perform the final stage of ETL, means extract, transfer and load. Analysis. In this phase of your big data process, you need to analyze the data to generate the valuable insight for your organization. So there are 4 kinds of big data analytics we have already discussed: prospective, predictive, descriptive and diagnostic. Consumption. This is the final phase of big data process. Once you analyze the data and find the insight, you have to share them with others. Now application of big data. So there are various application of big data as like in case of travel and tourism, one is biggest user of big data technology. It has enabled us to predict the requirement for the travel facilities in many places, improving business through the dynamic prices and many more. Financial and banking sector extensively uses big data technology. Big data analytics can aid banks in understanding customer behavior based on the input received from the investment pattern. Big data has already started to create a huge difference in the healthcare sector. With the help of predictive analytics, medical professional and healthcare personnel are now able to provide personalized healthcare services to individual patient. Telecommunication and multimedia, government and military, black box data, stock and exchange, social media data, transport data and search engine data. So these are basically a main application of big data. Advantage of big data means there are many various advantage. Enhanced decision making process. So on the basis of data, definitely we can take any organization can take a proper decision. Data driven customer service, efficiency automation, real time decision making. So advantage of big data. So big data has enabled predictive analysis which can save organization from a operational risks. Predictive analysis has helped organization to grow business by analysis customer need. Big data has enabled many. So there are various advantage of big data. So there are advantage, disadvantage, also there are some challenges of big data. So rapid data growth, the growth velocity at such high rate creates a problem to look for insight using it. So there are no 100% efficient way to filter out relevant data. Storage, the generation of such massive amount data needs space for storage an organization face challenges to handle such extensive data without suitable tools and technology. Unreliable data, it can be granted that big data collected and analyzed are totally 100% accurate. Data security, firms and organizations storing such massive data can be target of cyber criminals and there is of data getting stolen. So, key insight of big data. So, the we have already discussed all the things. So, let me recap all the things. The global big data market size is estimated to grow from $138.9 million to 9.4 billion by 2025. From 2002 to 2025, the big data industry in Asia Pacific region will grow the highest CAGR compared to other region. 99.5% of collected data never get analyzed, indicating there is a lot of growth of potential. Fortune 1000 companies can gain $65 million more net income by enhancing their data accessibility by just 10%. 300 new hours of video are uploaded to you every minute, which is why they have more than 1 billion gigabytes of data on their server. The average salary of big data engineer in India is 7.88 lakh per annum. So, these are all about big data and how big data is going to affect the whole world. By using this lecture, you can easily understand. So, thank you for watching this. Thank you.